Pressing the button.
Where's the, you guys
Oh, shit. I forgot to ask you. That's the one question I didn't ask you, Bob.
Go ahead.
Is it Golub?
Golub, yeah.
Okay.
Golub, the Jews say Golub.
Jews say Golub. Okay. But it's not like the old toy company, Golub. New from Golub.
No. Golub or Golub.
Golub or Golub? You don't have a preference.
I go for Golub because, I got to lean toward the Jewish, because
Okay.
I'm in the business.
All right. Well, in that case, hello, Mrs. Ryan. Hello, Bob.
Hello.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Tonight is Wednesday, July 24th, 2019. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan. We are the Ryans, and this is It's Tonight Show. Our guest, if you couldn't tell already, is actor-comedian Bob Golub, but not Golub. That's my own hang-up because I'm so nostalgic, and this whole thing kind of is back to the 90s and the whole bit. And I just think immediately, new from Golub. I think they got bought by Hasbro or Mattel or somebody else. Get swallowed up. Anyway, Bob's here. He's a great guy. We're going to talk to him in a few minutes. But in the meantime, Mrs. Ryan, how the hell are you doing today?
Great.
Yeah? You look fantastic. Fantastic.
Feeling a little wobbly, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's the new normal, so I'm okay.
Okay. The last couple of days, I've actually personally noticed you've been better.
Yeah, I do feel a little stronger, so
Good for
I'm
you.
walking a little better.
Good for you.
Thanks.
Fantastic. And that's been the MS check-in for the day. Ding! All right, so let's see. Some news. What do we have that's new in our world, Mrs. Ryan? There's one specific thing I can think of show-related, but is there anything new that you can think of that we would want to tell other people about?
I'm not going to even go there.
Well, but is that what you're thinking?
I'm not sure.
Oh, you're not going to play it all.
No, because I don't want to.
Thanks a lot.
I don't want to go down
Good
the wrong
improv.
hallway. Listen, I'm awful, but I don't want to go down the wrong hallway.
There's been one thing that's sort of always been the elephant in the room with everything that we do and try to accomplish here, and that is the Letterman of it all. So we are officially going after David Letterman as a guest on this program right here. Have no idea what's going to happen. We tried this very lightly. Almost a year ago. It was the 25th anniversary of the Late Show with David Letterman, and it was the time I told the microphone story to everyone for the first time.
Wow.
But we haven't gone after him officially as a guest. I don't know why. There's probably a million reasons subconsciously, but whatever. We're over those humps and going for it. We'll have a real calendar in the whole bit. I don't know. Maybe this will be very easy. Maybe he'll be here next week. Maybe this will be a year-long process. But I am pretty confident we're going to get him here in some way, shape, or form. Whether we have to do the Donahue countdown or the Oprah, the thing he used to do when they were trying to get Oprah on, or whatever. But it is official. It's Tonight's Show is going after David Letterman as a guest. So there you go. If anybody can help us, please, by all means, calling all cars. Ooh, Francis, it's time. That's a reference even my parents probably won't get. Car 54, where are you? Did you get it, Bob? The old guy in the chair. Anyway, so that's exciting news for us. Mrs. Ryan, the only other thing I have to do today is check in with our good friends on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah?
Check in with the old East Coast
Let's see what's
feed,
going on.
See where Danbury Chive and Brooke and the Casman are. Roll it out.
Mr. and Mrs. Ryan, Brooke, the Casman, and
Brooke's
Summer.
sister.
Woo-hoo! So we're here in historic Newtown by the flagpole, as you can see. We're at their dad's wedding, hanging out here. That's why they're all in dresses. And
No,
I'm
we're not getting married today.
No, right, we're not getting married today. It's their dad's wedding. But I want to send you some random love. Summer's never been on the East Coast feed.
No, I haven't. It's first time.
First time. Be gentle. And that's bad. And look, Brooke's really short because she took over 6-inch heels, and Summer's really that tall.
Yeah.
So then there's that.
We do have the same parents.
Right.
A lot of people ask that question.
Anyway, just want to send some random love from the flagpole in Newtown. Love you guys.
Bye. Bye.
Hi-ho, coming from the flagpole. That's exciting to me just because it's Newtown, of course. All right, Brooke and the Casman, where should we start with this, Mrs. Ryan? You go first.
I'm not. It's really good to check in.
It's nice to see the sister. I didn't know there was a sister.
I didn't
so
know
this
that
is exciting. Very pretty, very nice. Welcome to the feed. Welcome to the feed. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I feel like maybe we need an introduction to the sister, who she is, what she does, all that stuff. Maybe next time.
Yeah, Kaz, this is not your strong suit introduction, so
But it was great. I enjoyed it. It's a good one. But I would like to know more
information.
About. Seems like the sister, and I don't know if she's in school. I don't know if she's employed somewhere. We don't know anything about her.
Yeah.
Summer though. Summer. She's here for the summer.
Pretty gal. Nice to meet you.
Oh, and very pretty. There you go. Look at that. She's being very gentle. Pretty gal. All right, Mrs. Ryan. One more for the feed. Let's check in. See where they are now. East Coast feed. Kazman, Brooke, Danbury Drive. Roll it out.
It's Brooke and the Casman. East Coast feed with Jody and Sarah. Sorry, Sarah and Jody. Minus Piper the dog. We're yet again in New Milford at Bank Street. Hopefully you can hear me. It's trivia night. And we're here again. It's their first time. First timers. Anything to say for Janico? Anything? They've got nothing, but I got this shirt on.
Oh!
Yeah, and you know what that is. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Love you.
Look at that guy wearing his Hunziker gear. Love that.
Love that. Way to
situated.
represent, buddy.
Absolutely. Love that. Save the manuals. And he's a manual driver, so that's actually appropriate.
Yeah.
Bank Street, again, New Milford, where they shot Mr. Deeds. A bunch of other stuff,
Okay.
too. Also, speaking of David Letterman, that's where, not that place, but that same little block is where they went with Jerry Seinfeld and Letterman on the Comedians
For the
in
Cars
Cars.
and Coffee?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Small world.
It's a small
With
little world.
the Paul Newman Volvo wagon that they drove from
I
Stu
love that.
Leonard's. Love it.
It's a
Small
great
world.
episode. I do love that episode.
It's amazing growing up in that area. Like how it's too much. It's really too much. All right, Mrs. Ryan, I'm done blathering. It's time to ask the question that's on everyone's mind. What's going on, Mrs. Ryan? Dun, 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 dun.
Oregon schools are changing the verbiage of the state law to allow for mental health days.
Oh, Oregon schools. Got it. Sorry.
Yeah,
I was doing other things.
I know.
Picturing Oregon schools.
That would be awful.
You get the thing on your face and the whole bit. Got to live underneath
That's
the parapet
horrible.
house. All right, go ahead.
This
Sorry.
fall, Oregon public school systems are they've changed their verbiage to allow for mental health absences, not just like I have a cold, like physical health, because and it's student created. They're like, listen, kids are
I can't take it anymore.
no, there is two kids, a guy and a girl, who are graduating, and they're like, listen, kids are gonna, if they're not feeling well, they're gonna stay home anyway. So
You mean they'll figure out some way, some excuse?
yeah,
They'll tell
yeah.
you they have an upset stomach or whatever, but it's really, I just need a day.
Totally. And their whole thing is like, at least address the elephant in the room, so to speak. Like,
Okay.
they need maybe to talk to someone. Maybe
Yeah.
they need to chat, and they don't need to lay in bed and watch TV,
Right, I agree with that.
which is what people do when they have colds or they're whatever.
Need to recharge, yeah.
So I fully support what Oregon's doing. Like, at least it's putting it out there.
Sure.
So great way to
Starts
start
the
the
conversation.
conversation.
Sure.
Yeah. Unhatched birds communicate with their nest mates and also real birds, and it's how they learn
Through the
instinct.
shells?
The older, like regular birds that are out there, if they sense a predator, they put out a call. Like one in the study makes like a ha-ha sound.
Oh, I see. It is whatever a verbal
Vocal,
would be for
yeah.
audible.
But the birds that are not unhatched, that are in the egg still, respond to that, and they vibrate their shells so that the
Whoa, it's like the cartoons.
Yeah, it's super neat. And the study that I read showed how birds that were not exposed to that warning signal developed to not have that fear and those instincts. And so there's pros and cons to both. But if birds
Sounds
are
like a class system within the birds, within the aviary, whatever that would be, system. Avionic, I don't know, whatever that is. The bird system.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
almost seems like, oh, well, how do we take care
it
of this?
differentiates, but it's a neat thing to look at, that like even unhatched birds are susceptible to surroundings and sounds and instinct development. Maybe we are too. Okay. Tim Hortons is this Canadian donut place that
Oh,
I
yeah,
love.
right.
It's like the
I always
Canadian
get it confused
Dunkin'
with the ribs
Donuts.
place. It's
Which
Tony
rib-
Roma's. It's
Tony-
not even close. But.
No, not at all. Tim Hortons, though, was my go-to. Like, I stopped once on my way home from college, and it was a Tim Hortons on the way home in Canada.
That was your go-to? You only did it one time? Oh, I see. Every time you made the trip, there was one place
that
you
was
always stopped. I see.
Halfway,
Yeah,
and
got it,
I
got
would
it,
get
got
coffee
it.
and pee and whatever.
It's like a Dunkin' Donuts, right? But up in Canada?
The Canadian
Just a
version
chain?
of Dunkin' Donuts, yeah.
Okay.
So at their headquarters, though, in Toronto, what they're doing, and they're launching a new thing, they're calling it like the Innovation Cafe or whatever. They're trying out like new flavors and new products and stuff only at that one location. And it happens to be where the headquarters are, too. So maybe pop in.
All right.
You won't be able to get the new donuts everywhere, but like they're
Is it
gonna.
good? Do you recall it being good? I mean, you enjoyed it?
I loved it.
Oh, okay, great.
They had really good muffins, and the donuts were superb.
So it's
and-
It's not just a donut shop. They, like Dunkin' Donuts, do other things, breakfasts and
Yeah,
muffin-y
and they're
type
trying
things.
out like maple flavored confectionaries and the new line. Who
Oh, my.
knows?
All right.
Check
Yay,
it out.
Tim Hortons.
Toronto, all of our friends over there, and then
We
lastly,
do have friends up there. That's
I
funny.
know. So I figured someone will go and eat a bacon donut. Lastly, what is super neat to me is this kid found a way to celebrate the life of someone he adores. Corey Williams got married on his dad's birthday. Robin Williams' late birthday.
Oh, wow. Okay, Corey Williams is Robin Williams' son. Got married on Robin Williams' birthday, which was just the other day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
really nice.
To give the family something positive to celebrate. It's been
Something good on that
traumatic
day,
and
sure.
chaotic. And so Zelda, Robin's daughter, they have the same parents, wrote just a really lovely message of like how cool it is to be able to celebrate that day again.
It's so weird, and again, this is just going to be a peek into this weird cavern that is Jay Ryan's brain that we were discussing earlier, Bob. For me, when all this stuff was new, I mean, it was the biggest thing going on in my world, in Jay Ryan's world. But the very second night, Robin Williams sat in that chair and was doing impressions of these kids that were new. You know, Zoe's this, Cody's that.
Oh, they were babies.
They were baby.
Yeah.
Hi, Daddy, and the whole thing. And he's
Right.
he's doing material based on his children. And so I've grown up with these stories, and then therefore, because of my other connections here, I feel like, oh my gosh, you know, I mean, it's like I saw those kids grow up, even though I've never met them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you kind of feel like you do. So that's just really, really nice. And Zelda, I think, is a force to watch also in this business. I think she's gonna do some cool stuff.
I think so. She's always
Not that everyone else isn't, but she's somebody I've always kept an eye on. I
Yeah.
follow her on social, I think.
same. Me too.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
And
Congrats
that's
on the
what's
wedding.
going on.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Oh my goodness. Mrs. Ryan, you are a delight. Is that everything we have to take care of here? We got to the Letterman of it all. Bob, Golub is going to be in here in just a minute. All right. I think that's it, right? We're good?
I believe so.
You too? Okay. We're going to take a quick break. In a few minutes, Bob is going to be in here. We're going to talk all about, you got a new web series coming out. We're going to talk about, this guy's in Goodfellas. Goodfellas. We're going to talk all about Bob and a bunch of other things that probably are going to be a surprise for most people because they were a surprise to me when we were having our first chat. So a few more minutes, more to come. Bob Golub will be in here. More after this. On television right now.
No, you know, I said,
It's the best.
Look, I'm literally auditioning right now. It's going fucking great till you called. True story.
I love it. Took a call right as we were coming on. Hello there, Bob.
How you
welcome. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
being here.
man.
Get this just
Thank
a
you very
little bit
much.
closer.
How's that? Is that better?
Great. It's great.
There you
Wherever
go.
you're
Good.
comfortable, you can still
I'm
reach
fine,
your coffee.
man. I'm good.
It's good to have you here. Let's see your shot. That's not even close to good. Let me fix that for you first thing. There we go. So we need a whole crew here.
I did my
Producers and a
agent thing.
crew.
I look like Robert Duvall.
Oh, and you were talking to me. I didn't do the camera. All right, you guys chat for a minute. By all means, get to know
I did
one
as a joke. Like, you know, I thought, here's, do the aging. I just did Duvall picture. Because they said I look like a cross between if Robert Duvall fucked Ed Harris.
That's good. Whoever came up with that.
Me.
Good work.
Yeah, thanks.
That's about right.
Were Robert Duvall and Ed Harris ever in a movie together?
I don't know.
I don't know if that could be heard or not. I was curious if Robert Duvall and Ed Harris have ever been in a movie together because they're two of the most fabulous, like really intense actors. You know,
there's some great. I got to tell you, I think the greatest one of the greatest actors we're living right now is Tom Hanks.
Oh, I agree with you.
How do you years from now think about all you got to go is Forrest Gump and Philadelphia? Thank you. Stop.
Back to back, too,
Oh.
no less. And those were the two Oscars, weren't they?
I think, but my point is that you're going from humor to dramatic. I mean, not too many people could do that. I don't know. I just think he's one of the greatest actors.
Do you consider Forrest Gump to be a comedy?
No, but I mean, well,
I know what you mean because I laughed throughout it nonstop. But I mean, I don't know if
there
it's
is
supposed to be
no. But I'm just saying is that he can do that. I mean,
the man has the ability.
Oh,
Hit
100%. Well, Boots and Buddies was right.
Oh, with the
Yeah, I'm saying he has the
Peter
ability
Scolari.
to go back and forth with that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you because some stuff is just hysterical, and then you get Apollo 13 too, where it's like it doesn't get much more serious than that, or Philadelphia, like you brought up.
Right.
I agree with you. What do you think about Mr. Rogers? How's he going to do with that?
Well, being
I'm
from
excited.
Pittsburgh, I
You're from Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Oh, let's start there.
I'm from actually Sharon, Pennsylvania, right on the border of Pennsylvania, Ohio. Literally where I grew up.
Sharon. I've driven through Sharon.
I literally, there's a place called Penn, Ohio.
On the way to Steubenville, isn't it?
Steubenville is down further.
Okay.
Steubenville was down further. No, it's literally on Route 80. When you get in the Pennsylvania-Ohio line, it's right there. It's like 10 minutes from Youngstown. So
I've been to Youngstown, so maybe that's what it was.
yeah. But I mean, as a kid, you could drink at 18 in Ohio, and I had the greatest gig. I got to work at the drive-through in Ohio, right on the line, so everybody would come in, and I had the greatest gig. So I knew
like a car hop drive-through.
No, they would just come in
like
and get
hamburger?
the alcohol. No, they come get the alcohol. Yeah, and I would hook all my buddies up. No, dude.
Right, because they just come up to the
They
window.
would come
Nobody sees a
right
thing.
through the window. Where's the party tonight? I would bring the cases. I was the best gig for I was 16. I was 16. The guy who owned it was a wise guy. He'd like come in and take cash. He goes,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't even know. Like
That's
it was
business.
the greatest gig, man. It was like called a drive-through, and everybody wanted that gig, and I was lucky to get that.
And I didn't know they had drive. I thought that was like a Texas thing. I didn't know they had it up in Pennsylvania.
No, dude, it
Youngstown,
just a
Pennsylvania.
drive. It was all
weird.
alcohol. All the brothers would come.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What's
no
that?
kidding.
The first one I saw was in Ann Arbor, Michigan, when
Michigan.
I
Is that
went
right?
to college. Yeah. So
Well, are you from Michigan?
New York, upstate.
Oh, okay. Well, when you say upstate, come on, give me a city.
Good for you for that, but it's only because you're an East Coaster. Most people don't get it.
Rochester, up near
Okay.
Canada.
Rochester. That's where the Deaf Institution is.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that because I couldn't. You really blew my mind. I thought I had like 5 things. I'm like, oh, cool. I got 5 things I want to talk to him about, and that'll fill the time. And then you brought up 5 completely different things where I was like,
go
I'd
wherever you
rather
want, man.
talk about that stuff.
Wherever you want to go.
You became very interesting, and I feel like you should live on a boat in the marina selling Dos Equis.
Yeah.
Well, I sold Lucky Potatoes for 2 years, too, and made a living.
I don't know where to start. You're from Pittsburgh.
I'm from Sharon, Pennsylvania.
Well, it's Pittsburgh area.
Right, Pittsburgh area, right.
With the Mr. Rogers thing. Let's just
Right.
finish that up.
Right.
Are you looking forward to that movie? Do
Yeah,
like
you
Tom
know,
Hanks?
I anything Tom Hanks does, I'll watch
Yeah.
because I just think he's just that great of an actor,
I agree with
and
you. Authentic.
yeah, he's very authentic, and he seems like a down-to-earth guy. And I knew his brother. His brother looked like him.
I didn't even know he had a brother.
His
Did
brother,
did
when
you
I
know he had a
first,
brother?
yep, he looks like him. He was doing his name was Chris, and he was trying to do stand-up. He was doing stand-up.
Oh, man.
And he goes, man, the tough thing is, I go in and they go, you look like Tom,
Yeah.
And he had a
If
little
we
problem.
want Tom, we'll go for Tom.
Right, we
Yeah.
want Tom, So, but yeah.
Wow. Gosh, that's funny.
So, but I grew up. So yeah, I'm curious to see it. See what it is.
Do you consider yourself an East Coaster? Because Pennsylvania, Ohio, there's
I gotta
kind
tell
of
you
also
something.
mid.
Kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
Well,
Midwest.
I don't know. I mean, I consider myself a Californian now because I've been here longer than I've been back there.
Gotcha.
So I consider it my state, and I've actually put out a subpoena to block other states from coming here.
Block other states.
Yes,
from coming
like
here, or
Mississippi. Yeah, like
you gonna
certain
keep
states.
Mississippi
Yes,
from coming
right.
here?
They gotta show ID and be checked at the border. Seriously,
People? These states do.
States, right. That like I'm putting a ban on certain states. I'm going to leave Louisiana go because my wife's from New Orleans, and so.
Is there a lot of intermingling of states going on in the continent that I'm not aware
Yeah,
of?
I just think that like I want to put a block like Trump did on things. I'm going to do that with other states. So I'm putting a ban on
see.
certain
The
states
more
coming
ridiculous, the better.
to my state. And then when there's taxes out there so high, you know what? Screw you. You know what? Don't live here then. You know,
That's the alternate.
I don't think
right?
how people
You
worry
could not
about
live
my
here.
taxes and where I live. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I think California really. We're talking about Kauai. California really is the greatest, most beautiful state. If you want terrain, there's all kinds of different terrains.
It's
here.
everything in one
Everything
thing.
you
yeah.
want here,
Yeah.
and any sexuality too.
Okay.
Everything.
So everything for everybody.
Whatever
this
you
is
want
a
is here,
potpourri.
yeah.
If you're interested, we've got it. Everything must go. You mentioned Kauai before. I think something was on the screensaver or whatever. But that's a place that's special to you as well. Not only did Mrs. Ryan and I got married there, but it was special to me way before we met. And we've been together probably a dozen times. I don't know. And it's just always been our place that we both go. If we've got time and money to go someplace, it's going to be there.
It's really, you know, I did what they call the outer island tours, where we do all the islands, you know, except
Were you on a cruise
Molokai. And Def Leppard was doing a concert there.
Really?
That's no Def Leppard. There's
my
a bunch of
God.
lepers there.
Leper
Yeah,
colony,
I just
yeah,
did
the
that for
old
years.
days.
That's okay. That's nothing. But anyways,
Did you say Def Leppers and I missed it?
yeah, you missed it. Sorry. I just move on sometimes. I just keep
I'm
moving.
so glad.
No, because I figured you guys would get it because you know. So we were just an outer island
Say,
tour.
you're getting what you deserve now.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I try not to pick on the people less unfortunate. But and believe me, my IQ is very low. So, but no, it's it's a beautiful. It's the thing I love about Kauai is there's one main hotel that's on there. I think it's a Sheraton or a Hilton. Besides that, it was desolate. You know, as far as that, I got to do the helicopter ride.
Oh, I love the helicopter ride there.
And then I did the Zodiac.
Yeah.
At that time, the Zodiac killer was really big, and I went on the radio and threatened him and gave him my date. I said, "Come and kill me. Here's my date." I swear to God. And then we hiked it too, so we did them all.
Wait. So the Zodiac is you do the Nepali coast, but from the water, right?
Right.
You're going to see. So that's how you.
And there was turtles coming up, everything.
Yeah.
I loved it. So, anyways, I did the first tour once, and I do the second one, and I said, "Boy, whatever Japan didn't blow up here, they bought." Because there was a lot of Japanese money. Well, I didn't know the guy that owned the hotel in
Kauai.
Kauai would have taken offense to that. So the booker said, "Hey, what did you say?" I said, well, I improvised. I said, whatever they didn't buy, they blew up. I mean, whatever they didn't blow up, they bought.
Sure. From my experience, the Hawaiian culture is not really I don't know how to say this. Japan didn't bomb them. You know what I mean? It was their land, but they had nothing to do with it. So it's almost like they don't have a dog in the fight.
Kind of innocent bystanders.
Yeah, they're like,
guy.
we just
just
live
got
on this
hit.
little property here over here, this little atoll.
Right.
You atoll. Son of a, anyway, we love it there. I love that you do too, because I find that most people don't even know that island, let alone.
There's more water there than anywhere. That's where they shot Jurassic Park. And,
that's right.
Yeah.
We off-road up where they shot Jurassic Park.
It's absolutely gorgeous. I just hope. I think Clooney did a movie about that, about selling the land that was given to him.
Descendants.
Yeah.
The Descendant won an Oscar, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know if it did, but it was a
I think
pretty
the
good
movie
movie.
did, didn't it?
I'm not sure. I
don't
believe
know.
so.
I might have made
But
all of that
that was
stuff up.
Kauai. I don't know if there was. I think it was Kauai.
It was, and it was shot there.
Yeah, good, because I hope that they don't. I hope they leave it alone.
Yeah, it started on Oahu, and then they moved over the story wise.
The land was on Kauai that they were talking
Yep,
about.
and they went to the real places. It was
Yeah.
very cool. There's a chair. We're bouncing all around. Forgive me. I hope that's okay.
No, it's all right. Our ADD will come circle back around.
If there is a cause or a charity that you're involved with that is very close to you, deaf and hearing impaired people.
Right.
How did you get involved with that? Why is that special to you? What about it? And then I really do want to talk more about you at some point. But these are the things that they popped up and they were so interesting. I want to get to them. So we'll do them right up front.
I have two sisters. I'm one of 8 kids, so I have 2 sisters who are hard of hearing. And my sister Cindy.
That's not related to the fact that there were so many kids and people in the household.
No, I mean, well.
Or was it just a birth?
No, I mean, no, I don't. Well, my sister supposedly was deaf when she was born.
Okay.
And then
fully deaf.
I guess.
Okay.
And then that affected her hearing. And then my other sister Donna is hard of hearing in both ears. My sister Cindy, by the way, is a waitress for almost 45 years. Works 2 jobs. Works her ass off.
Mm-hmm.
And but anyway, so when I was selling cars
while being hearing impaired.
Hearing impaired, dude.
That's
She's
a lot.
Fort Lauderdale. She was waitressing, and then moved back to my hometown, and she's waitressing. As we talk, she works 2 jobs.
It's tough because it's bilingual down in Fort Lauderdale. It's bilingual down in Fort Lauderdale, so I would imagine it's even more difficult.
well,
read lips.
Yeah, I mean, not as much as you would think, like in Miami, what have you. But in Florida, we're talking like when I got out of prison, it was like 79.
Oh, we're getting right to it.
What?
Nothing. No, you dropped it. That's the next thing on the card.
No, because when I went down there, so I was in L.A. in '82, 84. So I was selling cars here, and then this girl comes in, and she was really hard to hear, and I wrote down a joke, and she starts laughing. I go, "What's?" And it just hit me. I go, well, "Why don't I do a show?" And that's how it developed.
Because you could make her laugh.
Right, and then it developed, and I did couple shows here in L.A. And then when I moved to New York, my first one is the Improv, and then we had a hearing, and then we had an interpreter, and then it grew where we had infrared listening systems.
Wow.
So we would have, for the hard of hearing, they take the hearing aids off, put an infrared system on, and then we had an interpreter. So you would get almost 3 laughs.
It's like rolling throughout the room. Wow.
And it grew just that everybody wanted to do it. I mean, literally, when I tell you, like, Robert Walter, every Robert, I mean, honest to God.
Including Arliss.
It was unbelievable. And then we raised over $1 million. And, I mean, quite frank with you, when we started it, the people, we hired a girl from to come in. I wasn't part of the New York League for Hard of Hearing. And the reason I went to them and loved them so much is they never turned anyone down for monetary reasons. And I grew up with anything where violin, there were times we couldn't have a hearing aid, batteries for my sister.
Sure.
So, I said, I'm never going to, if I could do something about that. And then we raised some money, and then we had an infrared listening. We got a cochlear implant for a person we got. And there's a big dispute between the deaf community.
These are life-changing things, though.
These
are things that are
right.
literally making someone's life different.
Listen, man, look, if I die tomorrow, man, if you give more than what you take, and then you're good. You don't have to be famous, man. I'm not famous because, but, that's fine.
You're awesome already. All right, so you dropped a couple little nuggets there. I want to talk about your show. Let's talk about your show, and then
My movie?
I'm sorry, your movie, and then when I'm going to come back all around all this stuff. Oh, so it's not a web series; it's a movie.
I shot a movie on zero budget and got it released.
I'm talking about Dying Laughing.
Yes,
you are too. Okay,
it's about a stand-up comic serial killer, and I made that because I wanted to kill someone. So I actually just did the movie.
Perfect. That's the perfect setup. Let's watch the clip, and we'll talk about it after. Does that work? This is a clip from Dying Laughing, right?
Oh, well, I don't know if this is my trailer or...
Oh, maybe it's a trailer.
It might be a trailer, yeah.
For Dying Laughing. Roll it out.
You were looking for somebody that's been involved in a homicide. I mean, you mean somebody that's killed somebody.
Would you describe yourself as a psychopath?
Do I look like a psychopath? I'm a stand-up comic. 3D is big now. I went and seen a porno in 3D. It's called Coming At You. I think when people know, when you mess with someone's life and their career and their family, there might be someone like me out there that's gonna kill you. So it's not schlup.
Woo. All right. So now that we see that you're not fucking around, tell us about what that is. Tell us about that. Anything
I was
going
to. I'm not going to mention the person's name.
Okay.
Because I don't want to relive that.
Okay.
But a guy had taken all my work from me for no reason on a mistake that he made.
Taking all your work for all your material?
My stand-up work.
All your material.
No, my stand-up gigs.
Oh.
He got him canceled from me for some bullshit that wasn't true.
Okay.
And you take money at that time out of my kids, and I wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
I fucking wanted to kill him. So I took that energy and just put it into we shot this.
Instead of doing such a thing.
Instead of killing him.
You betcha.
Just put it into the film. And what happened was we shot it raw. Improvised. By the way, we improvised this whole film.
Wow.
We improvised the whole film.
Okay.
Kind of like Curb.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. But, and I had this video down. And remember, this was shot 8 years ago. Well, I'm going to tell you that because you want me to tell the truth here, right?
Did we know? Yeah. Did we know that?
No, we didn't, because raw footage was the guy who shot it held it for me, and I had to go after him. And
held at
yeah, he
ransom.
fucked me up, man. Like so for 2 years I couldn't do nothing.
Every
Right?
story in this business.
So
yeah.
I put a little clip up, and in that little clip, it literally 20,000 views in a day. It was just because it was only 19 seconds. It was just that ending when you know. And I know a lot of people have taken that concept because I mean, look, we've been there, we've been ripped, we know all the stories, but the fact is, the truth is the truth. And I put that on Die or Funny or whatever that thing is.
That's right.
Funny or
And I'm
Die.
just curious where the Barry thing and all these things come from.
The Barry thing.
Yeah, the Barry on
The
HBO.
show.
Oh, I see.
Concept.
Oh, you mean how they? Right, I see.
I know where they come from. The
yeah,
ideas.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
and but
But how they come to be?
well,
you mean, as a
I
Barry.
can tell you. I don't know where you want to go to. Like when I pitched this to Warner Brothers over there, they actually Mark Wahlberg. We've had some dealings. He said, "Bobby, this is great."
Oh, he's
man.
a street guy too. I bet he'd get it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he goes, "No, I love this." He goes, "But you got to tell me something. You really didn't kill anyone, right?" He really fucking. I said, "Thank you." Right?
It's
Let's
compliment.
put that in the pitch.
Right.
And we put in a pitch, and he called me because man, they loved that. It was one of the best pitches I've ever done. We thought we have a deal, and they called me up 2 weeks later. HBO is doing something like this. I go, really? There's no one's fucking doing something like this. They
My
can't do
story,
something like
yeah.
this. It's me.
Yeah.
How can they do something like this? So they come up with the comedy version of it. Now there's a Belgian film called Man Bites Dog. You heard of it?
No.
It's a mockumentary. And that was my first thing to go. I was going to go for the most
Man
kills.
Bites Dog?
Man Bites Dog.
Yeah.
It's a cult film, and so my first thought was to go for the most kills, and kind of really humor, And I was going to kill a midget.
Almost funny horror kind
Yeah,
of like a dark comedy.
and then I thought he had it. And my camera guy goes, you're 1.5 off. I said, well, because we killed a midget in the 70s, so I have to kill another midget that counts as 1, and then I end up killing him to get the
math.
correct, right? So we end up. But my friend, so when we're shooting
Great.
it, the guy goes, my other guy, not the guy that hold my raw footage, says it took me another 3 years to get it going, and this guy was really good, man, and he said, look. Don't cheapen it that way, and go like scary.
Okay.
And then humor comes from there, and then and that's the way we want.
So play it straight, and then you'll have funny moments through the
right.
straight
Don't
play.
go for the laughs.
Right.
I wasn't.
Well, that's always. Don't go
No,
for the joke.
I understand.
You know that.
Right, but I wasn't really. It still would have been funny to do it the way I want. I still might end up doing Die Laughing too, where he does that.
See, that's what I was going to say too. You could slightly change. Yeah. There's no reason you can't have 2 projects.
Right. Well, I already did. But we got this. So I shot this on 0 budget. In fact, they probably spend more money on Tom Hanks' coffee on the set than I did literally.
That looked like Randy's club up in
Randy Lupus.
Oxnard.
Yeah, he played I kill a heckler. I kill a club owner, which is Randy. I shove a mic stand up his ass.
And it's actually his club. He's
Yeah.
actually the club owner. Yeah,
I shove a
that's
mic
great.
stand up his ass.
That's great.
And then
What did he do? Well, I'll watch the movie.
Well, he wanted more.
Yes.
He said, I got another mic stand. No. But and that's what it was. It's so you talked about Robin Williams earlier,
Yeah.
and what I did was I wanted to capture the dark side of humor that people don't really understand. It there's comics that really have a dark side that you don't even know about. There was a
You
guy.
mean all of them?
Well, I mean,
It's more
dark-
common than not.
More common, but there's a guy that raped a bunch of women 20 years ago that went to prison. Vince Champ. Suit and tie, Mr. Clean,
Yeah.
He's a
comic, and he's out there, Golub says, gee, we're going to watch for him, and, but let's hire him. And he's out there raping women.
Well, I
And
don't know him, but obviously Cosby's the same story.
But,
so.
but the point is that there was a lot, and it always seems to cleaner comics, too, with the suit and tie, They like
Oh,
to,
yeah, don't look over here. It's
Right.
in this direction. It's what we talked about before.
So my point is that there's a dark humor there. We didn't know about him. Robin Williams, Rich Jenny.
Oh, he was great. God,
what
he
I'm
was
saying is that that's what I wanted to do is try to capture the mundane and the darkness of. Now, I am killing a club owner, my heckler, and my manager.
It's a written piece.
No, it's not a written piece.
Well, because it's improv. But I mean, this is you know what I'm saying.
Right, it's
You know what I'm
structured.
saying.
Right, I got you.
Was Gary Shandling big in your life in any way? Did you like his work, or did you ever meet the man?
Yeah, no, I like Gary a lot. Yeah, in fact, it's really weird because me and Taylor Negron shot
love Taylor.
Love Taylor.
He was
You would
great.
never think, you know,
Nice
blue
man.
collar. I used to fight. You know, you would never think him and I would get along, and we just
He was
loved each other.
He was a warm man.
We did the first show for E, a live show shot in there. I played an angry talk host guy, kind of like a Bill O'Reilly way before that.
Oh shit.
Before Gary Sandling's show, and they loved it, and they were
Oh,
rated.
was it behind the scenes of that type of show?
Well,
like
it was behind the scenes, and I had Barbara Streisand on, and then it found out that it wasn't Barbara Streisand; it was a transgender person, and it was great. But they loved it, and then all of a sudden, Howard Stern comes in and sucks all the money out, and then boom, they didn't do the show.
Okay.
So yes, that was before. Yeah, I knew Gary when I was here from '80 to '84 when I was selling cars. I lived here and I moved to New York, and he was very gracious. He was a very nice guy.
Yeah, I agree. No, just when you were talking about the storytelling and Gary was one of those people who was not afraid to sit in the
Yes.
discomfort or the realness
Yes.
or the you know the
that's-
emotion of it all.
Yeah, that's my yeah.
You know what I mean?
One time there was a guy named Shoefly, this black dude that was picking on him. I'm on TV. I'm scratching my nose. You're not supposed to really do this on TV, but look, I'm doing it. Look at this. No, I don't need that. No,
Okay.
no.
As long as you're all set.
There was a guy named Shoefly that was picking on everyone. He was like 220 pounds. He was just beating everyone up, smacking, not beating them up. And I took care of him, you know, for everyone. And
What do you mean?
I kicked his ass.
No shit.
Well,
he was a comic.
Yeah, well, he was a hack.
Well, you know what I mean. He was a
in the early '80s. Yeah, and he would kill on stage. And then I was horrible. I was just starting. And then he's
Where is this at this point?
L.A. I was in Encino doing a show. Okay. Here's what happened. So it's just
No,
kind of
what room is this in Encino back then?
Factors, laugh, stop.
Laugh Stop. Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Anyways, he was in my car. We're going to a comedy store, and I was selling cars, and someone just bumped me and put a little bump. He goes, I want to sue your company. I go, I don't really care, but it's a little bump on my side, and they're not going to buy that.
Yeah.
He got mad. I said, dude, come on. It's not going to work because, you know. So he said, well, don't fucking talk to me. So, all right. And at that time, I was like young comic star.
He wanted to work an angle. You wouldn't go along with it, so you're the asshole?
Right.
Okay.
Well, he sucker punched me at that place and almost fucking knocked me out. My teeth were like, I mean, I've been hit hard, but like, 'cause I used to box. And whoa. And then I said, I'm going to fucking kill you now. He sucker punched me. He didn't realize that he didn't knock
who
me
he
out.
hit, yeah.
Well, I didn't. And then I took care of it. And then Gary says, he's an asshole. I heard that. And he loved me ever since that. And he just like, I was a young comic. I was a horrible comic because I was uneducated. I didn't understand humor.
But why did you want to do it? Why were you doing it? Like, we didn't even get to that. How did you get into comedy?
Oh, stand-up? Oh, I went from, I was in prison in 79 in Pennsylvania. And it's just there, and it's kind of weird, uneducated and big drug, I had...
But you found comedy in prison?
Well, I'm one of 8, so you find humor there.
Okay.
That's to be honest with you.
Yes.
We're bagging
Survival.
each other. Oh,
Survival.
You're bagging each other all the time.
Yep.
And anything that, just anything that a light to get on each other, we would do that.
Push the button.
Oh yeah, we would do that all
Sure.
the time.
Okay,
that's
so
where
you
humor comes
learned.
from.
Yeah. Okay, so you learned it from survival.
My whole family's funny, actually.
Well, then here's the headline: Prison to the White House in
Yeah.
10 years.
Yep.
I want to hear it.
Go.
Well, I went to prison for selling drugs. They busted me for coke, which was a bullshit. It was set up.
Okay.
And I was a pot dealer. I was doing it.
in New York and
in
LA?
Pennsylvania.
Oh shit! All right.
So I was doing like about 300-400 pounds a
I
month.
imagine it's more serious there.
I was doing about 300-400 pounds a month, and I had a big
Moving hundreds of pounds
Yeah,
a month.
yeah.
Wow, that sounds like a lot. Is that a lot?
Yeah, for
That's a lot.
18 years old, and
That
then
sounds
I
like
would
a
carry a 9mm pistol. Well, I was a gangster, dude.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I had the 5,000 cash in my pocket, but I looked like a long hair. I looked like a piece of shit. I drove a $150 car, but I had a $1,000 stereo in
Yep,
it, right?
yep.
No one knew. And
This is right out of the Mr. White.
Yeah, Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. The kid had the kid who was working with the guy. He was 18 years old, but he's shitbox car and the tunes and the rims and the whole thing.
but my thing was low key. I had a shitty car. I just had a good stereo in it.
Oh, I see. It was
There
a
was a
sleeper.
shitty. No, yeah, it was a piece
Gotcha.
of shit.
Gotcha.
And I got popped. That's another story, but I mean, So when I went to prison, I actually had people from Youngstown that were looking for me. So if I went to prison, it was the best thing that happened to me. It changed my
You were
life.
safer.
Well,
Safer
I'd
in
either
prison.
been dead, They were looking they'd kill me,
Right.
or I would have ended up dead on drugs, one or the other.
Sure.
Quaaludes and
You were using as well as pushing?
Oh fuck yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Well, not at the beginning.
Because that's what
then-
they always say. They say a successful dealer
beginning.
doesn't use.
Well, you're not gonna die on pot, but like you know.
Well, okay.
But I was doing Paris with the. I was 18 years old. I would go to a doctor.
Oh, so you were selling pot. The coke thing was a setup.
No, fuck. That was a bullshit thing.
Okay,
man.
so you were just moving marijuana.
Yeah.
It's almost not it's not a crime now, almost.
No, I
Okay,
sell it now.
Gotcha.
It's fucking crazy.
Gotcha. Well, it's important that people understand. I certainly have a different impression now, and I
Yeah.
feel it's important other people do too.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, but I'm telling you, when I went to prison, I was a 91st inmate in a brand new prison. And it was, my number was Z0091, like a radio station. Hi, this is 90. I swear to God, right? And so I go there and
The future of rock and roll.
right here. Me and my co-host Bubba, right? But it was really a life-changing thing because I'm still uneducated. I can write a movie and write scripts. I can't
Because
spell.
you got all the experience on the street and everything, right?
Well, I just
You
know
got
how
life
to,
experience.
Yeah, and when I see stories and I get passionate about it, I can write about it. You know, now thank God I have people to spell check, gives me the finger, so I have other people to do that.
Yeah.
But it really changed my life. That's why I'm going to try to go back and do a show there now that I've been getting blocked. I mean, what a wonderful story to go back where I was at to do a stand-up
Yeah.
show.
Coming home.
Well, we're working on that. But
Okay.
So I was there, and I would go and fight, and I cleaned up, and I was reading and starting to educate myself. I never got my basics down, and so, but I knew that I didn't want to go back because I went and fought other prisons.
Okay, you're on one-way ticket at least.
I was going to maximum security prisons, fighting inmates in all these other different prisons.
Wow.
Because our place was brand new, so we started our own boxing program, and
I see your point. It's just like the movie with Burt Reynolds and everything. So they're competing against the other prisons or whatever.
Well,
as
yeah, I
they
mean-
put you up as like you're the contender. So.
Well, we did, again, it was a brand new prison. They never had a boxing program, so we started it, and that's another whole story I wrote about. That it's amazing, like what happened in there, but it changed my life as far as that sexual shit. That doesn't happen all the time. I mean, that's like But where I was at, I have my own room. I
was going to say it probably depends on where you are and what your situation.
I mean, now, and so after getting out of there, I did like under 2 years. I went right to Fort Lauderdale.
You just did your time, get in and out, that kind of thing.
Well, I got out. They put me back in on a bullshit thing called perjury
Just like
at
the
the parole
movie.
hearing.
What?
Yep.
You lied at a parole hearing?
Right.
Or they said you did?
No,
rather?
I did, but I didn't know. And it's a long. That's again. It's too.
No worries.
but-
No worries.
but
That'll be in the book.
Yeah, and so I actually defended myself prior to that and beat them on stolen guns. They said that
You defended yourself?
Yes. A guy who sold me the guns, they were hot, 32 and a 38, came back and he said, "Hey, Bob, I need to." He played both sides of the fence. And he said, "Hey, can I borrow those guns?" I said, "Yeah, okay." And then they used it as a setup. And then I went to court and I defended myself and I beat them. And that's when they said, and at the district attorney, assistant district attorney said, "You didn't get me, did you?" She goes, "I'll fucking get you." And then they really wanted to get me. They also wanted to get me for me to turn on, like I'm telling you, I had like, I was selling a lot.
Yeah.
I was
No,
a big
once you
fucking,
said the numbers, it
That's
sounded
big
like,
numbers,
Right.
yeah,
So
and
they're
they-
looking, you could have gotten a deal and whatever if you were
they
willing
wanted me to
turn
get the
on
guy, the big
whoever
guy,
was-
the mob guy out of Youngstown.
Yeah.
So,
Which I'm assuming you did not do.
no.
That doesn't seem to be in your personality.
Well, I didn't, no, but there's some really crazy shit that happened. People don't know about Youngstown, I mean, I'm telling you, man, they literally came and shot at my car to kill me and miss me. That's another thing. But what I'm just saying is there's a lot
Telling you,
in
you
here.
need a boat in the marina and a Dos Equis deal. You could be selling beer as the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then how I ended up getting to the White House, as I was in New York, I was at Staten Island, and I was broke. I had no money. It was 85. I just moved from 84 here and left because I couldn't.
1985 in New York City?
Yeah.
That was a weird time, man. It was not the city we all know now. That
no.
was pre-Giuliani. That was Ed Koch days. It was
Right,
a dirty
right.
town. Dirty
Actually,
town.
Ed Koch, when our first show that we did for Deaf and Hard of Hearing, he donated or dedicated May Hard of Hearing month for us for our show that we did. We got a certificate, But no, But my point was, is as a fighter, and I wrestled in high school, and I was very good. I was a 4-year letterman. Went to college for about a month, and then, but I thought you get as good as your competition when I came out here.
Yeah.
You don't come out here cold, and So you know what I'm saying? Like you can't. It's hard. You
got to acclimate. You got to learn.
Yeah, you got to
read
learn
the room almost.
No, I got to be friends with Kennison and all those guys, and I got stories there. In fact,
well,
I got
the 80s was a great time to come out here too.
Oh,
right? I mean, that's
in '82.
There was another rush coming.
I did Murray Langston's film called Night Patrol. And I got Kennison in it, Carl LeBeau, and Andrew Silverstein, their first film they ever did.
Right, Andrew Dice. Of course.
And Jerry Bednob, the guy from 40-Year-Old Virgin.
He's been here. Yeah, we love
him.
him.
Jerry did. So I got all of them in that the first film they ever did.
What, in 82?
82, called
Holy
Night Patrol.
Shit. Isn't that
I'm
something?
gonna put. Here's the thing. I've been digitizing all my VHSs.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird how
It's
you
a
can
weird
see
trip
your
down
act.
memory lane, isn't it?
You can see your act grow. And like, I just sent something to Sarah Silverman. I had the first show I did in New York for Deaf.
Sure.
And Joe Bolster was on it. Max Alexander. Oh God. And anyways, so I just sent it to her. But I said, don't look at mine because I was horrible. But you can see how you go. You know, I've been I tape everything. I got 9/11 shit, like stuff that no one's ever seen. You know, so how I ended up in the White House.
Yeah, well, because within 10 years, I mean, it's pretty amazing. Well, and I don't think you're the first one, but I think your story might be interesting.
The first one that went, I don't know about that. I don't know if it's the first or not. I know it is what it is. But so I was broke in Staten Island, and I said, I seen Rick Aviles and Charlie Barnett working the street, and I love them. You know, I've always levitated those blue collar, gritty people. You know, and I love them. And I said, geez. So I said, what can I do? I got to fucking get some money, man, because I was selling cars there, and I got fired, or I quit.
Well, those are two different things.
Oh, kind of. So I went on the street. I came up with potatoes. I sell Lucky potatoes. So sprinkled Lucky water from my mother's well in Pennsylvania. And
That's the luck?
And people start buying them. And a guy bought a potato, hit
so it's
the
like
lottery.
a holy potato, essentially, right? You're selling
Lucky
like holy
potatoes.
Water, right? I know, but I'm saying that's your premise, right? You're doing, okay, that's your thing.
Lucky potatoes. and
Forgive me, go ahead.
New York Times did a little thing on April Fools, and next thing you know, CNN covered it. Lou Dobbs. There was no, and I became the
lucky potato shortage.
Everybody, every dude. I swear to God, everybody.
The lucky famine.
That's right. That's right. And I'm not even Irish, right? I'm Polish. But it was like it's fucking unbelievable. Like every news station, every radio station, and then they start arguing. I don't think they really bring you luck, you know. And
oh
so,
my God!
Yeah, right.
Arguing over stupid shit.
And so what happened was that was able to let me to start headlining comedy clubs because
it was the awareness,
I could get on any TV station. Yeah. When I went down to D.C., the guy who's on Fox and Friends now, the blonde-haired guy, what's his freaking name? Steve. He interviewed me there when he was a local reporter.
Wow.
And then they saw me on TV. The guy who owned the 49ers. And he gave me tickets to go to the game when they played. And then we went to the White House. They wouldn't let us in because obviously Steve Ducey.
Oh, wait, you just showed up.
Yeah, we just showed up. But hold up.
It's amazing.
They wouldn't let me in.
Sure. So what year is this, just so I can see who's living in that house at the time?
It was Reagan.
Okay.
Sorry. And I got the tape. Here's the thing is, I back up everything with tapes and audios. Like, how Trump became playing his PR guy from Stern. I got the tape. So everything I say is backed up, except the actually going there. So we went there, and they wouldn't let us go in, obviously. And we got the cameras on. But they saw it on TV. And he wasn't feeling well, so I wanted to give him a lucky potato to make him feel better.
Reagan.
So they called me.
Ronald Reagan.
I get a call.
President Reagan.
I get a call first from Jack Kent Cook's office, and they would give me 50-yard line seats to the Minnesota game with Doug Flutie. It was 3 points, and Doug Flutie ended up winning by 30 against that Super Bowl first black quarterback.
Isn't fame a grand thing? Gee,
what's that?
Isn't fame a grand thing?
All this
just because they just knew who you were. It's not that your potatoes were that great and that you were bringing luck to the 49ers and to the president, right?
Well, I think because it was media, too. That's
what I mean. People knew who you were.
Yeah, and they used to the other comics would make fun of me. I was getting on the Tonight Show. Freaking Tonight, I was so known it was every.
You got on the Tonight Show because of it?
They had me booked on the Tonight
That's
Show.
crazy.
What happened? I had all my jokes ready.
Johnny back then.
Hold on. Yeah, man. And everyone said, I said, I'll tell you what, I'll go on the Tonight Show, and I'll bet you, because comics were fucking with me. They say, oh, you're going to go on there, you're going to hack. I go, I'll bet you they'll remember me more than they'll remember you.
Sure.
But to show you about timing and luck, it was a writer's strike hit.
Oh, my God.
And that hit.
Amazing.
And then what happened was, because the woman who hired me, she says, you're not a comic. I said, no, I'm just a street guy. I didn't let her know I was a comic, right? And just this normal guy who's doing this. But what happened was, that 7-month period between that July and September, that strike that happened, I think it was 88, I got so much PR, Associated Press, everything, that when they came back, she said, look, it's hard to get you on right now, because everybody, we're booked, we got to bring back on.
Everyone's back now.
Right.
It's been enough time.
Right. And then she goes, and you're a comic. I go, no. I only become a comic after selling Lucky Potatoes. So that's kind of,
That's amazing.
But then the White House called me and they said, hey, Reagan would like one of your Lucky Potatoes. And so I went down there. And here's the weird thing is, I have no fucking pictures of that. Because
somebody does. There's
so
a
I got to
record of
find
it
it.
somewhere.
I know. And I'm trying
It's
to.
probably in the National Archives.
I got to find him somewhere because then when I went down there, I wasn't able to actually meet him because he wasn't feeling good that day because, he's had Alzheimer's.
You know where I bet it would be? No joke. I bet it would be in the archives right here in Simi Valley at his library.
I'll have to
my
see.
No
God.
joke. I
Yeah.
bet it's
I
probably
bet
in a
you're right.
file thing. You know
Somewhere,
what I mean, with all of those.
but that's my big house at the White House.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So you went and gave a potato to Reagan or something.
Well,
or
not to
somebody
Reagan.
did.
Yeah, because he wasn't able to do. I gave one to Gorbachev in 1990, and you couldn't even get to him. Nobody.
90 is that's
Is
after
when-
the Berlin Wall.
That's
fell
right. He
and
came to
was
New
out
York,
of-
and he brought his own car in.
out of power.
Brought his own car, everything, and I on
the
the
end of
potato
the
I put a little
Soviet
red
Union.
thing on here.
Oh.
Put a little red thing on the potato.
Oh, of course you did. Yeah, of course.
And-
Now that's comedy, right?
Yeah.
Did he get it?
Yeah.
Gorby, come on, Gorby.
No.
Tell me about selling cars because when my dad died when I was 18 and
Sorry to hear that.
needed to. Thank you so much. I was already working in television already, doing internships and stuff. But you know how it is; things change.
Of course.
So I had to go get a job. I sold Saturns. And I met that guy from East Coast Feed who was a sales manager, and he promoted me, whatever the heck.
Right.
So I've got a little bit of experience in this world, and it's one of those things that when people find out, they always think it's so bizarre about me. You're a guy who's done all the things you've done. I think the fact that you sold cars is kind of interesting. Tell me what you sold, where you sold, and tell me what that was like.
As
It's
you
just
know,
business, so I would imagine it's all the same.
But also, you get a demo. So when you
But
live
what
in,
were you? You were at a dealership, right?
yeah, I sold right in
New
Van
dealership,
Nuys on Van Nuys Boulevard.
where it's Keys now. all
Yeah, it was Keith.
dealerships.
Before it was really Pollard, Whitman, and Rob. So you would have to really know that. That's how long
That's
ago.
the family names of
Yeah,
this
Pollard,
dealership.
Whitman, and Rob. And then that
And what were their marks that they sold?
Well, we sold Chevy, but then I sold used too.
Oh, that's
But
nice.
then
Better money in
Keys was just a small. Now Keys is everything. But I remember I was known for this. That there was a guy who would come in. People would what they call up you. So somebody would up somebody come on the lot.
Yeah, we used to call them ups too. A customer is an
A
up.
customer
That's
coming
you're
on-
up. You're up.
You're up.
Okay.
Whose
you
up
know.
is that?
And
That's my
someone
up.
would say, I'll jump the shark real quick. One time some guy said, I don't want that guy. Some Mexican dude comes in grubby, and I said, I'll take him.
Mm-hmm.
The guy had 15,000 cash in the bag. I sold him
Yep.
the car.
Yep.
But here's the deal. So this guy
got
comes
one
in.
of those too.
It's raining. It's raining a little bit. Doesn't have guy comes in, and I could see with one in the car, and I said to my salesman, I said, look him up on this because you could tell if they've been checking through
The credit.
credit.
Right.
So I know he's been to
If
two
you've
other
been shopping or not. If you've been shopping.
been
they
to two
get
other
that.
dealers.
Right.
You guys know all the tricks.
Right.
Well, it's what to look at if you find out if it's a real. But you're trying to qualify the buyer, just like any other
Right.
sales position.
But the other guy with the bag money, they qualified him and they were wrong. So you never know who's coming in. But
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
And-
But that's what I'm saying. These guys, it's a
and-
numbers game, just
well,
like
in fact,
everything else.
the
Especially
guy,
the old schoolers.
In fact, the guy I sold the car to and I met, Bill Osco, is the one who did the movie that Night Patrol, and that's how I got to meet him. That I got all the actors in the comics.
it's so funny.
That's
Small
how I
world.
met him.
Small
And
world.
he's from Akron, Ohio, and I'm from Youngstown, so we
Close.
hooked it up. So and then he produced Alice in Wonderland and Flesh Gordon, and became The pornos, the funny pornos.
You're shitting me. The musical porn, the famous Alice in Wonderland musical porno that's like a really high budget thing?
No. These were takeoffs. Alice in Wonderland and Flesh Gordon, he made millions. He was like in his 20s.
Oh, that's one movie. Those aren't two movies.
No, there's two different movies.
Oh,
Alice in Wonderland was a porno, and Flesh Gordon. That's how he made all his money.
Gotcha.
Then
we may be talking about the same thing.
Yeah, his name was Bill. That's how we got to be friends. Then he would come and see me. That was horrible, but
You're talking about a porno movie from like the 70s, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
He became
a musical.
He made fucking millions off those.
Yeah, it was a famous movie. It's an X-rated real movie.
Yeah,
it's
it was
really
a
Alice in
takeoff of
Wonderland.
pornos. It was like funny takeoffs.
But meanwhile, the Mad Hatter is like, you know what I mean? They're really educating Alice.
Yeah, and then Flesh Gordon was another one. Yeah, the dude.
That one I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm assuming Flash Gordon.
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and
Can't slip those by me.
Yeah, trying. You've been around as long as I have. You'll find these, man. Like, so where was we at? I forgot.
Oh, who cares? This is amazing. This is my favorite conversation I've ever had. All right.
Oh no! So the potato thing. Yeah. So.
Oh sure. Yeah. Lucky
so,
potatoes.
Yeah. So that basically that got me going on really getting out there on the road. Oh, selling cars. So
yeah.
a guy
just because I'm curious, just cause, you know what I mean? Because
I got to just tell you,
it's a world I know.
I got to tell you. So the guy comes in. So we checked. And I said, and the guy's he's been to 2 other places. He came in with a trade in. I said, you want to buy a car? Because well, I've been, I'm looking. I said, let me see your keys. I took his keys and I threw them up on the roof.
So he couldn't leave with his car.
I said, let's fucking buy a car now.
What'd you give him for his trade? Because he was clearly shopping his trade,
matter.
right?
I can't.
But isn't
I
that
don't
why he
remember.
was going from place to place?
Well, he was trying to get the best deal.
That's what I mean. He was shopping his trade, probably.
Right. Well,
they'll give me $500. They'll give me $750.
Right. So I took his keys. I was known
People
for
don't
this.
realize the money is all. It doesn't matter where it comes from. You can have the money off the car. We can give it to you on your trade.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. It's all monopoly
It's
money.
a difference figure, really. It's a difference figure. It's not what you. Yeah.
6 to 1.
Yeah. So they told that story for 20 years because I said to him, I said, you want to buy a car? I'm so let your trade in. And I threw the keys. He goes, "What you doing?" I said, "Don't worry about it. We're gonna buy a car." And I sold him the car.
Isn't that the greatest?
Yeah.
Misdirection.
Just let's stop fucking around. You want a car? It's raining. You've been to 2 places. Let's buy a car. And he sold the car. Yeah,
That's a great story.
and then, by the way, Staten Island. When I sold cars in Staten Island, when you first go to New York in the 80s, there was so much work. So picking people up. I would pick people up in different cars. They thought I had money.
Yeah.
I had different
Always.
demos.
Yep.
But I got to pick people up and go and do gigs every night. I worked Monday to Sunday every night for years, every night. And then I worked my way up from opening, middle, and headliner. And I got to work with, it was great. It was a great period. I don't know if we'll ever have that again in those 80s. There was so much work. Like
everywhere.
Everywhere. I mean, I did.
People say now that there's stuff going on that the comedy's as big as it was now as it was in the 80s. You don't agree with that?
I don't think so, man.
Okay.
I mean, because from my experience, on a Monday night, you have 8 one-nighters. So I did every X in New Jersey and Long Island, Connecticut, Mass.
The Treehouse Comedy Club?
Did Treehouse. I did the Treehouses. I did everything, every exit. I'm serious, with a 91 and 95 split.
New Haven there, sure.
That's right. And then they used to have the dog horse
Toad's
thing.
Place
The dogs,
in there and
the dog
everything's over there.
races was a fucking scam.
You're totally right, and they had Highlight replace the dog races. It was another scam.
Well, the Highlight is the one. No, I meant the Highlight is the one you could set up easy. That's the one they got rid of too.
Yeah, but it was in the same place in New Haven there.
Exactly. And I remember when Connecticut took out the toll booths.
On 95?
Right.
So do I. Now there's only one from New York into Connecticut, but there used to be staggered all the way up.
Yeah.
That's
All
it?
the way
There's
up.
only one now?
Yeah, just when you come in. That's so funny.
knew?
I love that.
Yeah.
I could reminisce with you forever, and we just met today.
Yeah.
Isn't that bizarre?
No, I know that. I know the area very well. I mean, you got to understand when you're doing. And then I worked my way up. I mean, I worked with Chris Rock. I remember.
I worked with Chris. We both worked with Chris Rock.
Yeah, and I was working at Jim Mendrino's. I was working his gig upstate New York, and the owner said, "Hey, man,
Still in the 80s now?
yeah, we're in the 80s,
Okay.
late 80s."
Okay, so he's a young kid.
Yeah, and the club owner, I fucking killed because remember at that time you worked your way. You're working every night, and you're inevitable. You're not going to get better every night. And so we were up there, and the guy, I crushed. I'll be honest, right? And the owner said, but I used to I would throw down the fucking mic.
Oh, you
Before
literally
anyway,
would drop the mic, right?
I was doing that, whenever.
Right.
before anybody did.
But owners thought that was disrespectful. I'm
Disrespectful, and the guy said to me, he
it's their
said,
equipment, it's $150, blah,
right.
blah, 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 blah.
And he said, I told him not to say fuck. You said fuck. You threw it on the mic.
Oh, I see where this is going. He's not going to pay.
And I said to him, I said, who am I doing this for? You or the audience? Because the audience really.
it.
And then they wanted to leave me up there. And I'm not going to get into that. I said, that's not a good idea. Because what the fuck are you guys? We're supposed to be together here. And, well, you did say fuck. You threw down the mic. And then a couple of years later, someone's on TV throwing down the mic. So whatever. I'm not going to get into that because it's negative. But I'm just saying I worked with a lot of comics. But I grew because you're inevitable. You're not going to get better if you keep working all the time. And I felt I think there was one time I was as good as anyone. There's a moment on stage when you know that you're not that you compare yourself, but I'm saying that there's nobody could fucking do what I did at that time, that moments.
That was mine.
Yeah, it's fucking, I just wasn't a good writer. I mean, as far as material.
Why do you say that?
I wasn't educated, man. So when I first, I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, but putting ideas on a piece of paper doesn't need the education or the structure that people think it does.
Well, here's
someone else does that later, or a machine, or a computer, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Or you
get
get
the life experiences that you have and the way you put your thoughts together, or whatever.
I couldn't, but
back then you could.
I couldn't do it
back then.
I saw Seinfeld in 1970. Now, when I was in Fort Lauderdale, I went down to we talked about the first week that this comic strip opened. Seinfeld was there. Dennis Wolfberg. Oh my God, just a great lineup.
People at the time.
Yeah, but I didn't fucking understand why people were laughing. I couldn't get it. Like
you didn't think the material was good.
I didn't know. Well, I didn't know. I'm used to edgy. My family's like raw. I just didn't.
It's a different audience, I would imagine. Fort Lauderdale versus New York.
But I was just. I was 19. I was 21 years old. I didn't fucking know.
Didn't have the moving parts yet.
I didn't know.
Okay.
And then when I come out here, I just got to see Seinfeld his first time at the when he did the Tonight Show. I actually took a tape recorder. And taped
at Johnny, you were there.
I saw the first one he ever did. I go,
right
dude, I saw him. It was like for me a big thing,
Yeah,
and I was down
You're
there.
lighting all my lights up for sure.
I was at the attaché case at the a place called the Laugh Factory, the Laugh Stop, before there was Laugh Stops, and the host was Kerry Hoffman. And I remember Dangerfield came in and Bob Hope came in. And
oh, my God.
I remember I'm a kid from a small town, and now I'm seeing this and like, whoa, and I come out here. And they're like, really, But New York is where I grew because you're able to work and work and work and work and work, and that's all you did.
Wow. That's amazing. I like living in Toluca Lake because Bob Hope. It's wild out there.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like I celebrate the greats too.
But let me ask you, like people, I think people, like if you said to me, Bob, you got to do a set on a Tonight Show in a month, I could write 5 minutes, not out of my act. Mm-hmm. I could write 5 minutes right now. Right now I could
topical humor, whatever.
I could do it.
Stuff that's going on.
But
I imagine
taking me that long.
I bet that you're the kind of guy who could also say, hey, Bob, whatever, you got to do 5 minutes tonight. Get out there. I feel like you could probably do that too.
Yeah, I could do it. I could get because I've been doing it so long.
That's my point.
Yeah. Right.
You're at your ability.
Right, but I'm a late bloomer. And
so
by the way, you're as good as your fucking representation too. Let's just be honest. That's what this business is.
Do you have representation?
Yeah, but not the big.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're not all that happy.
Well, here's the point. This business is basically like a high school. If the most popular kid says you're funny, then you're funny.
Yeah.
So if you're with 3 Arts in Endeavor, William Morris Endeavor, and they say, hey, Bob Gold's funny. Oh, I don't know who he is. Oh, but yeah, I'll bet he's funny. Yeah. Next thing, no, he's funny.
You're talking about the machine that is.
The machine.
Yeah, you bet.
So you could be.
She used to be part of it. I used to be. But we all used to be part of it.
You could be 1/3 of the talent I have, and you could get a Netflix special and get everything you want because somebody said, Dave Becky said that you're funny. And I like Dave. I'm just being direct.
I worked with both of those guys, Dave and Michael. You mentioned Chris Rock before. I used to work on the Chris Rock Everybody Hates Chris, and she used to represent Chris. She was a publicist. I don't know if you knew any of that about us.
I had to do all.
So that's why we're both genuine fans of comedy.
Right.
You know what I mean? From back to as far as it goes. My dad used to go see the Honeymooners get taped at the Ed Sullivan Theater when he was a kid. You know what I mean? It's like it's in me.
Yeah.
So having a conversation with you today is really a joy
to
me.
Man.
So I hope that I'm not coming across as sycophantic, but just genuinely interested in
Thank you,
as a
man.
person.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
Appreciate
Cool.
it.
It's super curious for me to know about that time. I'm super curious about that time because it's really, it's a neat thing that made me get into this business that I love. But but it was really different then.
You came up during a time that was sort of the heyday, the golden age for, you know what I mean? There was the 70s push out here with the Comedy Store and everything, but then there was like the 80s rush that we were alive for and watched happen by growing up watching Caroline, the show, and Evening at the Improv, and Comic Strip Live, all of the shows that you guys were on.
Those are the only. Even at the Improv, I had some heat when I came out back in '94. When I came back out here, I had a big manager, big agency, and all that stuff.
After the potato fame.
Well, yeah, after the potato thing, yes. That was more of a gimmick, but
Yeah, but it worked.
no, but did bring luck.
Yeah, there you go.
It brought luck, and I was able to make a living for 2 years and pay my rent.
You got to see how it could be and then go there.
Dude, it was just crazy. I would imagine what it'd be now with the internet. I just think that, you know, people have runs and they have them in their teens or 20s or 30s, and it doesn't really matter when.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm primed. But now people look and they say, oh, well, you know, this guy maybe be too old. And funny's fucking funny.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
I always go to Lewis Black. He wasn't famous until he was like 60.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the train took off. He was a
And, you know,
playwright. He was
I
doing
mean,
other things.
Him and I, let's say similar, where we had that angry, you know, that kind of aggressive.
I wasn't trying to make the parallel, but you know what I'm saying? So age-wise.
Of course, yeah. But now I could write. Now I'm able. You know, I just own the first flight around the world. I optioned a book, the first flight around the world, Magellans of the Sky, 1924. How the hell we don't know about this? So, and then I bought and I.
You're writing that?
I know. I got the rights to the book, and
But
we're
to
pitching-
option it as a
yeah, man,
feature.
we're going into Larry Ellison's company.
Cool.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
Good for you.
And then I
Your
have
representation's okay.
well, I get these things myself, man.
Oh, I see.
You don't get it, man. Like I got Gersh on this thing, but let me tell you something.
You did
I
it.
went into Disney right to the president. I get my shit. She does PR. I have to find creative ways to do PR because I can't afford a PR person. I hired a PR person for my one-man show. My wife said, you know, Bobby, just get someone to do it. So I do a black box in the theater. I was doing Dodo, my one-man show based on my family, growing up with one of 8 kids and trying to break the cycle.
Okay.
Of telling, my father never told me he loved me, so I had a, and I lost 3 people in 9 months, and I either write about it or go to Thursday. I wrote about it.
Sure.
And so we were developing it in the black box in the theater here. And this PR person said to me, she says, you'll never get Variety to come down and review you in a black box in the Valley. And I said, guess what?
That's not true. That's
We're
the
done.
silliest thing I've ever heard.
Well,
Bye.
it was 40 seats. I said, bye. I called the fucking people up. I said, look, here's what the show's about. No excuses. No one's coming out. My dad was an asshole. He's a drunk. He beat the shit out of us. And I never told him he loved me. And there's no apologies. He goes, where's the show? I got a 2-page spread with my picture, which, as you know, is 50% more visibility. So I got to learn how to do this myself. You know, I don't have these people with these no offense, these actors and comics have this fucking whole system. Everyone, and I don't have that. And so it's harder for me to get on a show. Like if I'm telling you, like Conan, I could go on, you know, tomorrow and do 5 minutes easy. But I don't have someone to call them up to do that now. I got to call him as George Thomas, who's my PR guy. That's me.
I bet he's
You're
good.
ruining the illusion.
Fuck the illusion. They're not going to remember anyways. I tell them, I call them up and they still don't know. I call them up and then they say, hey, George went out of the country, and then I take over.
Okay.
For they don't get the voice mixed up.
Oh, that's hysterical. It's back to Tom Hanks and his brother, non-Hanks.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
All right. Are you on social media?
Yeah, bobgolub.com, and then, you know, the Facebook, and
You on the Instagram?
yeah.
What's
yeah.
the Instagram handle?
I don't really know if I have an Instagram handle. It's just my name.
Oh, okay. But Bob.
Bob Golub.
All right.
Yeah.
Easy. Hi, Mrs. Ryan.
Hi.
We'll post that.
That's your handle, FYI.
Easy.
Oh,
Your
what's
name.
easy?
Whatever your name.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you people have handles. I don't know if you have it like it's a nickname or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, like my name is just the letter J, RYAN, so that was taken.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So I'm Porsche Life 111. You know what I mean? Like, that's how all that stuff. I hope that you've enjoyed this conversation. If you ever want to come back, please.
Are we done?
Yeah, it's been over an hour. I mean, we can keep talking if you want.
No, I'm just like crazy.
There's a lot of stuff we didn't get to, but I figured
crazy?
that I like you, and I'm hoping that you feel the same way, and maybe you'll come back sometime.
100%. I just feel like, this is what...
Is there anything we didn't get to that you wanted to get to?
No, I did want to say that if they want to see the movie, it's on YouTube free right now.
Wait, Dying Laughing is for free
I put
right
it
now?
free because I had it distributed. And
go watch it. There you go. It's on YouTube. It's on this channel, for goodness'
sake.
sake.
Right. And it's free. Go
the internet. This channel, the internet.
This channel. No, it's Die Laughing full length because there's Die Laughing Bobby Benson did, and then Doug Cope did a Die Laughing.
Yeah, sure.
Then I did a thing called Dying Laughing where they interviewed a bunch of comics. But
there was a show, of course, too. Yeah, with the Jim Carrey show. Oh,
no,
that's I'm dying up here.
No, this thing called...
Oh, there was a documentary.
Documentary, right.
That's right. Yeah, sure.
Right.
I've seen that.
And they interviewed me for that. But, it's a full length. It's on YouTube free. It's an hour and 15, which is cool.
But it's not going to be up there for long, for free.
No, another 30 days, and I'm going to pull it back down.
So watch it this month.
And then I'm going to put it back out. We're going to tweak it a little bit.
For sale at that point, probably. Yeah.
But it's free, Yeah. And it's an hour and 15. What's that?
If you want to see it now, go watch it for free.
Right.
And you'll get it's not written. It was improv, but it is a real story.
I'll tell you.
Based on some very real things. So
yeah. You know
what I'm saying?
Yeah. And there's one person they haven't found.
Oh, shit. That's why so-and-so asked you, tell me, it was Mark Wahlberg said, tell me you didn't kill anybody.
Yeah. He said, because it's so real. I'm telling you, it's that when you see it, it's like when we were screening it, I did a screening in Youngstown, Ohio. I'm telling you. I would come out and do Q&A, and I would see people go like this.
From you? Recoil from you?
Yeah. When I'd come back, they would show it, and I'd come out, and I see them go like that. Because they just seen me up there and then see me come out.
Anthony.
Because how we're doing this right now, we would shoot this. Fuck the lights, sound good, do it.
Anthony Hopkins got a lot of flack after Hannibal Lecter. He's a very nice, gentle man. You know what I mean? So I think that when you watch something like that with the intensity and certainly the violence and everything, you sort of you have a hard time disassociating.
Especially when you come out after just seeing it.
Yeah.
And doing Q&A.
You're still the scary guy that just watched.
Right. I swear to God, I seen that and I go, wow, I wish I could have videotaped that.
Yeah.
So we videotape people coming out. And he goes,
that's like the old school days. That's how they used to promote in the old days. They would get someone's reaction coming out of the horror movie and they're crying. Oh my God!
How to do that?
And that's how everybody would go see.
I don't have I don't have the money to do that, so I had to create my own PR.
You are awfully interesting, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
And you are so capable. You know what I mean? I think anything you want to do, you could do. You know what I'm saying? Based on your experience and your abilities now that you've. Over the years, you know what I mean?
Well, I feel now I'm ready. I just do want to tell you that this thing, Magellan's of the Sky, is the first flight around the world. The fact that we don't know that, and it's not being taught, is unbelievable.
Right.
And I also have the greatest
Magellan
basketball.
The Explorer.
Magellan's of the Sky.
But you're right, for sure.
No, dude, trust me when I tell you. Listen to me. I swear to God, I'm not because I have it. I read it again last night. And then you like to read something, it's the second or third time and details are popping up. It's unbelievable. It's just an amazing story that got to be told. And it should be in books, should be taught.
Are you pitching it?
Oh, yeah. No, we're going to be, we're going out. And I have, that's what I'm saying. I had the greatest basketball story. I wrote that script it was a true story.
But the Magellan one.
Magellan's, of course, we got meetings going out. Yeah, I mean.
Because that sounds like, that's the type of thing they would make now.
Right.
And it's a good timing for it with the moon and everything else.
Well, it's the right stuff before the right stuff.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Literally. That's the line. That's the log line, really.
You are a pleasure. Please come back sometime if you
bro.
ever want to talk more.
Love to, man.
If you've got something else coming out,
I just feel like I talk too much, and she hasn't said anything. I just feel like I talk too much. I wanted you to interject or something, say something.
I do sometimes. It's sidekicks are to the side.
Okay.
Don't look at me. She can do whatever she wants.
Well, I hope
it's only when the cameras that are rolling.
It's really weird as we're doing this is that it's just this is what to me is like the best stuff. Just the real talk, and it went so fast.
Yeah. Everybody says that.
It's like good sex.
Everybody says that. Yeah, that's right. It's over before you knew it.
Right.
Wham bam.
Yeah,
Thank you.
right.
All right, Bob Golub. Let's see. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mrs. Ryan, who do we have tomorrow? Tomorrow we've got
Jonah.
Yes, Jonah Friedman. There is a new restaurant in it, not super new, but it is a very cool, hip, trendy restaurant in Silver Lake known as Friedman's. Jonah Friedman, the owner and restaurateur of that place, will be our guest tomorrow. So that will be exciting. He's also a friend of ours from Breakfast Club and a Porsche owner. So we can talk some cars too.
It'll be
Kind of
fun to
interesting.
talk to him.
Mrs. Ryan, I love you so very much. Bob Golub, we love you
Thank you
very
so much. Yeah.
Please love one another at home, and we love all of you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Hey, do you know what they're opening now? West Hollywood, the first pot restaurant. You know? By the way, what you're doing, my brother-in-law is dealing with it, and I'm helping him, and I think something, I don't know if you've worked on any Indica canvas.